class through phone, laptop, and other devices. So will the university ban sites that distract student learning? While most students say they bring their laptops to class for note-taking purposes, they are often caught browsing Facebook, YouTube, and other sites when they should be listening to their professors.
It's just something they open up when they're bored in class, so it would be helpful, I guess, to focus more on what's going on in class to ban it, but the students would probably be either maybe falling asleep or something else, doing something else besides Facebook. They'll find something.
Computers set up in Media Lab classrooms are supposed to aid the learning process, but not all students use them as intended.
Yeah, they'll be sitting in front of me and I can see over their shoulder and they're just on Facebook, and it kind of makes me not want to pay attention to the teacher and be like, I'd rather be doing something else too.
We're in a university where we're allowed to do pretty much anything we can, anything we want. So if we want to play games in class and not pay attention, that's our choice.
The university has already recognized the issue. So now, if students come into Hamilton Library to use the computers to check their Facebook, one of the staff monitors will politely request them to leave. Hamilton Library is not alone in observing what students do on their computers. Professors are noticing it in their lectures and how it reflects on their grades.
My GPA is in the hellhole right now.
You think it's because of you playing games in class?
Not a big contributing factor, but I think somewhat.
I think definitely there is an impact on grades. It may be marginal in some cases, in some other cases it may be great. But the fact is they're paying for this education, they might as well take advantage of it.
How students choose to spend their time in the classroom is at their own discretion, but how they let it affect their grades is the consequence. The university has not yet banned distracting sites, but the decision may only be a click away. For Campus Connections, I'm Colleen Morsey. The Aloha Movement Project, commonly known as AMP, is an internship program created and run by students and is available to nearly every major on campus. John Fritzler created AMP last year for artistic students and activists to gain exposure in the community. It was their duty to find a business, ask them to sponsor them, and then organize events such as concerts and art shows. Today, AMP is open to everyone from fashion majors to anthropology students.
The cool thing about AMP is that it's open to all different studies. Anyone can be involved, whether it be a digital arts major who makes these posters for us, or whether it be a sociology major who writes a report about our movement, or a marketing student can do a marketing plan. Anyone can be involved.
I'd recommend it for every student. It's a really great way to build your resume first off, and you can kind of use what you're already doing in school to go through and give back to the community, so it's a great opportunity.
Aloha Movement Project is involved with many internships within the community, including one here at Kapolei Middle. The interns are getting personally involved with the students and helping them cope with everyday issues. These students are 12 and 13 years old, but they are very aware of issues such as violence, teen pregnancy, and drugs. Today, they are interviewing the AMP interns and asking how they should handle these problems.
I think it's really hard for students to relate to people of university age because they're afraid, and the university students want to help youth, but they don't know how. And so I think by bridging this gap between the two of them, that our community definitely is benefiting from both perspectives of the youth outreaching to the community.
AMP supports the diversity of student life at UH Manoa and hopes to positively impact the community one project at a time. AMP is expected to expand to Alaska in fall 2010, with hopes of eventually reaching a global community. Students can register for Business 392 in the upcoming fall semester. For Campus Connections, I'm Colleen Morsey. If you've recently seen Crouse Pond, you may have noticed a few things missing. The murky water is gone, and you can now see the bottom, but the fish that thrive there are gone too. A volunteer group, the Manoa Makeover Team, conducted a cleanup project of the pond. It's man-made and does not have a natural filtration system, which allows sediments to settle at the bottom and collect. It took 3 days and 16 volunteers to drain the pond, capture the fish, remove the plants, rake the sediments, pressure wash the floor, and restore its natural beauty. The cleaning was necessary to protect the health of the fish, but surprisingly, no one is really sure how the fish appeared in the first place.
We're assuming that these were dumped by students who left for the semester or something of this sort, because this pond was initially just for the water plants. And strangely enough, koi and all these fish started to appear.
The hundreds of fish eat the plants and overpopulate the area. They had to reduce the number. But changes will be made to help keep the pond clean in the future.
We're going to be putting out a sign saying no, don't feed the fish. And that's one thing they could do. And of course, next time we clean it, we'll welcome anybody who would help us.
Many of the fish were sent to the Humane Society and Leeward Community College. The fish that will eventually be returned to the pond have Manoa Makeover to thank for a healthy home. For Campus Connections, I'm Colleen Morsey. Coach Shoji's accomplishment did not go unnoticed, especially from his players, who say the team's goals don't end there. At the University of Hawaii, a legacy was created with the hiring of Dave Shoji. Since he first began coaching in 1975, the Rainbow Wahine team has won 4 national titles. But in mid-October 2009, he hit a landmark when he became the second women's collegiate volleyball coach to reach 1,000 wins.
All the streamers was coming down from the whole ceiling part. I didn't know that was a part of the whole deal, and it was just one magical moment. It was like one of those NBA celebrations that you see on TV, and it actually happened here in this Stanton Sheriff Center.
But Coach Shoji was thinking of the team's goals and not so much on his own accomplishment.
Well, I really didn't want to think about it because we were, again, trying to accomplish something every game, and that's where I wanted my focus. And I really didn't want the team to think about it. I didn't want to think about it until maybe when it got closer. But it was in the back of my mind, but not anything that I was getting excited about.
Although Coach Shoji may be modest about winning 1,000 games, his players intend to use his accomplishment as motivation in the postseason.
For us, it's the 1,000th win is a 1,000th win. Like, as soon as we've got it, yes, we were excited, but as soon as that night came and went, the next day we're back to business, and we're shooting for our main goal, which is to get to that championship.
The third-ranked Rainbow Wahines are looking forward to adding another accomplishment to Coach Shoji's list with the national championship this year. For Campus Connections, I'm Colleen Morsey.